Mankind likes to believe that there are no monsters, that we have always ruled the world. It is not so. Miranda tried to scream. She couldn't. The pale light of morning filtered in through the blinds covering Miranda's window. Her room was still dim, but she could see the posters on her far wall. She could see the limp outline of her body under the covers. Mostly, she could see the figure. The figure stood at the foot of her bed. It was a shadow. It was solid. It was man. It wasn't. The shadow didn't move. It just stared. Miranda didn't know how she knew it was staring at her. She couldn't see its face. She didn't know if it had one. She was sure, though, it was staring. She could feel it. Hate and hunger, malice, an evil that reveled in her fear. The presence pressed in all around her. It was suffocating. Miranda felt goosebumps traveling up and down her body. The thing scared her. It scared her so much. Was it the fear that froze her? Paralyzed her? Was it the terror that locked her body, forced her to be still when all she wanted to do was scream and run away? Miranda didn't know. What she did know was that she couldn't move. Miranda's muscles weren't clenched, but they felt like they should be. Fear and adrenaline tore through her veins. Her heart hammered in her chest, so fast and so loud she could hear it. Her body screamed at her to run, to fight, to move, but she couldn't. She just laid there, limp and helpless, watching the thing watch her. Miranda tried to scream again. It was impossible. Scream? She could barely breathe. Something was pressing down on her, smothering, crushing her. It felt like someone was sitting on her, like the shadow man was sitting on her chest. She could see that it wasn't, but it felt like it was. Miranda's breath came in pained, short gasps. Her panic increased. The fresh surge of adrenaline did Miranda no good. Her body wouldn't listen. Her arms lay like wet noodles on the bed. Her legs refused to even twitch. If she could move. If only she could wake up. Please, please, God, let her wake up. Miranda didn't know how long she laid there. Seconds? Hours? Her heart pounded so hard that she was worried it would stop, that she'd have a heart attack and die. She almost wanted to. She was so scared. It hurt so much. Her lungs were burning. Her feeble gasps were getting shallower, more desperate. Maybe she really would die. A blast of music broke the silence of the room. It was a cell phone. Miranda had set an alarm to wake her up for school. Cheerful music echoed through the room. A sliver of hope shot up through Miranda's legs. Maybe now she'd wake up. Maybe now the shadow would let go. The hope died. Her phone kept blasting music at her. Miranda did not wake up. The song ended, then started again. Miranda's phone would keep playing until someone got up and dismissed the alarm. Miranda very much wanted to do that. She'd give anything for the fear to stop, to be able to move. Her face was wet. Tears, sweat, maybe a little drool. Miranda couldn't do anything about it. The song played a third time, a fourth. On the fifth replay, the shadow finally moved. Its head turned. It was looking at Miranda's dresser, at the phone. Then it was gone. The presence vanished. Miranda gasped, bolting upright. Sweet, chill air filled her lungs. The phone played her wake-up call 2 more times. Miranda ignored it. She just breathed. Her whole body clenched. She waited for her hammering heart to slow down. A pounding on her bedroom door made Miranda jump. Her little sister's shrill voice cut through the quiet of the morning. "Miranda, wake up! Your phone is annoying!" Miranda resisted the urge to get out of bed and strangle her little sister. Her blood still pounded in her ears, but she made herself reach over and shut off the phone alarm. She flopped back down on the bed, trying to convince herself to start the day. Miranda wandered into the bathroom. She looked at herself in the mirror. A ghost of a girl looked back at her. Miranda was pale. Her red hair made her look even paler. She had bags under her eyes. Deep. Dark. She hoped the makeup would cover it. Miranda showered, had breakfast, then went to school. She went through her classes like a zombie. Tired. She was so tired. The shadow had come every night for 3 days. She couldn't remember the last time it had been so bad. She was afraid to sleep. "You look like crap." The voice startled Miranda awake. She realized she started dozing on the lunch table. Miranda perked her head up and scowled blearily at her friend. Rachel plopped down next to her with the lunch tray. Rachel had dark hair and big brown eyes. She wore way too much makeup. She wore a black tank top with red heart made out of sequins. Rachel's pants were covered in sequins too. Rachel loved shiny things. "No, really," Rachel playfully nudged Miranda with her elbow. "It's bad. You look like an undead clown or something." "Clown?" Miranda gave her a sleepy smirk. "Did you just call me a clown? With that makeup?" Rachel grinned. "Calls 'em like I sees 'em." A touch of concern clouded her features. "You're not sleeping again, aren't you?" "No, I'm sleeping," Miranda assured her. "It's just—" Rachel nodded sagely. "The shadow's back." 3 days in a row, Miranda confirmed. She put her head back down on the table. "I think I'm gonna die." "Did you tell your parents?" Rachel asked. "No," Miranda shook her head. "They'll try to make me take the pills again." Miranda's parents meant well. They did. They just didn't understand. The shadow had been coming to Miranda since she was very young. Her parents had taken her to doctors, also therapists. The solution had always been pills, antidepressants, Adderall, a bunch of different medications. The pills always messed Miranda up. They made the world fuzzy or numb or gave her mood swings. Some of them had made her psycho or suicidal. None of the pills stopped the shadow. If anything, they made it worse. The sleeping pills and the muscle relaxants would keep her down longer, keep her frozen for hours while the shadow watched and choked her. Miranda had learned to fear pills almost as much as she feared the shadow itself. "Pills?" Benny slid into a seat across from the girls. Benny was Native American. He had bronze skin and long hair and a perpetually earnest expression. His eyes were narrow and dark. He'd be handsome if he wasn't so short and scrawny. "What kind of pills?" "Sleeping pills," Rachel told him. "Miranda's got the night terrors again." "It's not night terrors," Miranda corrected. "Night terrors are bad dreams. What I have is sleep paralysis." "Sleep paralysis?" Ben frowned. "Wait, do you see a shadow person?" Miranda's head shot back up. "What? How do you know that?" "I know lots of things," said Benny. He picked a tater tot up off his tray, tapping it thoughtfully. "Shadow people, huh? I think I know someone who can help." "Help how?" asked Miranda. "I don't need to see another therapist." Sleep issues aside, Miranda was pretty well adjusted, or at least as well adjusted as a 16-year-old girl was going to get. She was still a mess of hormones crawling through the hellscape that was high school, but she didn't have any deep-seated trauma or anything. Also, therapists kept trying to give her pills. Miranda did not want pills. "Not a therapist," Benny assured her. "I've got an uncle, Uncle Joe. He's a medicine man." "Medicine man?" Miranda's voice was as dubious as the look she gave him. "I thought your uncle worked in IT." "He can do both," Benny said defensively. "I don't know, Benny." Miranda tried to smile to soften the blow. "That's sweet of you, but I don't think he can help." Benny sounded sure. "Come on, Miranda. Just talk to him with me. What do you have to lose?" Miranda had a lot of things to lose. Important things. Things like her only day off after school this week, and not being stuck with Benny all afternoon. Benny had a huge crush on Miranda. So far he'd been too shy to do more than drop the occasional clumsy pickup line, but that wouldn't last. Benny was a nice guy, a good friend. He was not someone Miranda wanted to date. Spending time alone with him could get very awkward very fast. "She'd love to go," Rachel said. She smirked as she threw Miranda under the bus. "Science hasn't done Miranda any good. Maybe voodoo's the way to go. Voodoo? Benny gave her a look. Yeah, said Rachel. Voodoo. She tapped her chin thoughtfully. I think Miranda would make a pretty cute voodoo doll, don't you? First off, that's racist, Benny chided. It's not, Rachel denied. Second, Benny continued, I'm Native American, Lakota. Voodoo's from Africa. So? Rachel frowned. It's all the same thing, right? Hocus pocus? It really isn't, Benny shook his head. Why do I hang out with you? Why wouldn't you? Rachel gave him a winsome smile. Look at me. I'm adorable. You're something, all right, Miranda rolled her eyes. I still don't think you're going, Rachel told her firmly. Her eyes turned serious. All jokes aside, Miranda, you look like crap. You need help, and Benny's uncle might have an answer. You said the doctors wouldn't do anything, right? Maybe Uncle Voodoo can. It's not voodoo, Benny protested. You know what I mean, said Rachel. Go with Benny. See the medicine man. Do not, Rachel pointed threateningly with a tater tot, make me threaten you into it. For a moment, Miranda was tempted to call Rachel's bluff. Her sense of self-preservation won out. Rachel knew all of Miranda's secrets. She could and would make Miranda's life hell if provoked. Also, she had a point. Miranda could really like to be able to sleep like a normal person. Miranda sighed. Fine. She turned to Benny. We'll go after school. Really? Benny grinned. The grin was hopeful. It's a date. Miranda was already regretting her decision. Benny piled into Miranda's car after school. Miranda's car was a beat-up old Mazda Protege. It had been bright yellow once, but the paint was old and chipped. It had several dents, and one of the doors had been replaced. The new door was lime green. Miranda knew the car was ugly, but she loved it anyway. She called it the Banana. The Banana was her freedom. She worked part-time for a year to save up for it. Miranda drove the Banana down to her sister's school. Annie was 9. She was cute as a button with frizzy red hair and way too many freckles. But she was also an enormous pain in the butt. She immediately started making smooching noises and pestering Miranda about her new boyfriend. Dropping her off at home only took a few minutes, but it felt a lot longer. With that taken care of, a blushing Benny gave Miranda directions to his uncle's house. Uncle Joe had a small house in the suburbs. It looked ordinary. Gray paint, a brown roof, and attached garage. The lawn was well tended. The garage door was open. An old blue pickup was sitting in it. The hood was up. An old man was fussing around with the truck's engine. Uncle Joe! Benny shouted as they walked up the driveway. The old man looked up. He was tall and surprisingly fit. Long gray hair fell down his back in a ponytail. Uncle Joe wore faded jeans, a white shirt, and a blue flannel jacket. His face was weathered, with creases and smile lines around his eyes. His eyes were so dark they were almost black, but they shined with vigor. Benny! Uncle Joe smiled. He closed the hood of the truck and took off his gloves. He grabbed a white cowboy hat and perched it on his head. Good to see you, kid. He glanced over at Miranda. His smile widened. And you really did bring a girl with you. Wonders never cease. Ha ha, Benny sarcasmed. The two clasped in a manly hug. When it was over, Uncle Joe held out a hand to Miranda. Pleased to meet you, little lady. I'm Joe Goodthunder, but you can call me Uncle Joe. Miranda Banks. Miranda introduced herself. She shook his hand. His grip was firm but gentle. His hand was rough. He gave Miranda's hand 3 solid shakes and let go. She received an impression of quiet strength from the man. He seemed wholesome, too. His gaze didn't wander. Benny told me a bit of your trouble, said the medicine man. Why don't you two come inside? I'll make us some cocoa and you can tell me about it. Hot cocoa? Miranda raised an eyebrow. I'm 17. The old man raised an eyebrow right back. And? I'm 57, girl, and I'm not too old for cocoa. Cocoa is good for talking about your troubles, especially on a cold day. He puffed out a breath, watching the mist in the air in front of him. Miranda smiled in spite of herself. The man had a point. Come on in. Uncle Joe led them through the front door. The interior of his house was spotless and nicely decorated. Miranda had been expecting to see cool Native American stuff, but it was mostly paintings and pictures. Wasn't Uncle Joe a medicine man? Shouldn't there be cool stuff? Miranda realized in that moment that she had no idea what a medicine man actually does. She started to feel a little silly. The old man made everyone cocoa. He made it just right, so hot it almost but not quite burned Miranda's tongue. They all sat on hand-carved chairs around a very nice wooden table in a very clean kitchen. Uncle Joe had Miranda explain her experiences. He listened until she was done, then asked questions. When he decided he'd heard enough, he leaned back in his chair, thoughtfully sipping his cocoa. "Can you help her, Uncle Joe?" Benny asked. "Maybe," Uncle Joe told him. His gaze fell on Miranda. There was something sharp about it. "You've come to the attention of the shadow people." "Shadow people?" Miranda frowned. "There are a lot of words for them," Uncle Joe explained. "Night hags, maras, sleep demons, all kinds of words, but they all mean the same thing. They're evil spirits." "I don't believe in spirits," Miranda admitted. "Of course not," Joe snorted derisively. "The only thing you white folk believe is that you already know everything, even when you know you don't." "That's not true," Miranda argued. "Isn't it?" The old man sipped his cocoa. "Half the point of science is that science doesn't know everything, but that doesn't stop you from assuming you know how the world works. I'm an educated man, Miranda. I work with educated people. I know how closed the minds of most men are." Miranda was tempted to point out that she wasn't a man, but she didn't want to sound snarky. "Okay, then." Miranda leaned forward, frowning down at her cup. She was out of cocoa. Would it be childish if she asked for more? "Evil spirits. Tell me more." Uncle Joe praised her for a moment. He gave an approving nod. "Not so close-minded after all, and willing to listen." He pointed at Benny with a smile. "You might want to hold on to this one, kid." "What?" Benny blushed. "Oh, we're not—" "Not yet," Joe said wisely. "Give it time. Miranda's a teenager, and teenagers are shallow." "No, I'm not." Miranda objected to being called shallow. Uncle Joe continued as if Miranda hadn't spoken. "You haven't hit your growth spurt yet, nephew. Makes it harder to get girls to notice you. If you're anything like your old man, that should change soon." He puffed up his chest and smiled proudly. "Miranda might not want you now, but in a year or so, you'll be as handsome as I am. She might change her mind." "Oh, please, no. Uncle Joe." Ben covered his face with his hands. The boy was blushing again. Joe laughed. "What's the point of family if you can't give them grief?" His eyes twinkled as he turned back to Miranda. "But on to your question. Spirits." "Everything has a spirit, little lady." Uncle Joe noticed Miranda looking longingly at her cup. He got up to make more hot cocoa. "Everything. People, fish, the birds, the trees, the wind and the sun, even rocks. Everything has a spirit." "Everything?" Miranda frowned. "Does that mean I should go vegan?" "No," Uncle Joe chuckled. "Plants have spirits too. You can't win." He set the water and milk to heating in the saucepan. "While everything has a spirit, not all spirits have a thing." "Spirits are not people," the medicine man continued. "But they are like people in some ways. Some are good, some are bad, most are somewhere in between. The shadow people are bad spirits. They live to hurt others." He was silent for a moment, stirring the pan. "Tell me, little lady, do you know what SADS is?" "SADS?" Miranda frowned again. It sounded like an acronym. "It stands for sudden arrhythmic death syndrome," said the old man. "It's a fancy medical term for when someone dies and we don't know why." "Okay," Miranda prompted. "It happens most often to sleeping people," Uncle Joe continued. "A lot of research has been done on it. The prevailing theory is that about half of SADS cases can be blamed on an underlying medical condition. Type 1 diabetes and stress are also factors, but the truth is science can't explain most of it. People go to sleep and they just die." "You think it's the sleep demons," Miranda guessed. "It's just a theory," the medicine man told her. "There was a big outbreak of SADS among Laotians after the Vietnam War. Refugees mostly. A lot of the refugees figured it was because they slacked off on their worship. The Laotians believed the spirits of their ancestors protected them from some evil spirits. If they don't perform the rituals, their ancestors won't protect them." "So I need to talk to my ancestors." Miranda was dubious. I don't know how to do that. That's just how the Laotians did it, Uncle Joe told her. He looked up from the saucepan, fixing Miranda with a piercing gaze. The world is a lot bigger and a lot more complicated than people think it is, little lady. There are a lot of things out there we don't understand, and a lot of different ways to deal with those things. He went back to stirring. After a moment, he pointed at Benny. Nephew, keep an eye on the cocoa. I'll be back in a minute. Benny dutifully took over stirring the pot. Uncle Joe left. A minute later, he came back. He was carrying something. The medicine man set the object down on the table in front of Miranda. It was a dream catcher. Take this, said the medicine man. Hang it above your bed. It will keep the shadow people away. The dream catcher was a hoop made out of willow. Strings crisscrossed around each other inside the hoop like a spider web. Beads and feathers dangled from the hoop. Oh, you don't have to do that, Miranda flushed. If that's all, I can just get one from the mall. From the mall? Uncle Joe snorted. Weak medicine. You came to me for help. This is help. Take it. Miranda realized she was being silly. Okay. She picked up the dream catcher. Thank you, Uncle Joe. You're welcome. Uncle Joe went back to the stove. He poured a new mug of cocoa for Miranda. He offered some to Benny, but Benny declined. Miranda smiled over her new steaming cup. Then she had a thought. Why? The medicine man sat down with his own fresh cup of cocoa. Why what? Why are the ones from the mall weak medicine? Miranda asked. Good question, Uncle Joe smiled. Everything has a spirit, right? Miranda nodded. Things that are made have spirits too, the medicine man elaborated. Part of that spirit comes from the ones who made them, and that spirit is flavored by their intent. Their intent? Miranda prompted. What they were making it for, Uncle Joe explained. The dream catchers at the mall were made for decoration, not protection. Some of them weren't even made by hand. Oh, Miranda sipped her cocoa. I made that one myself, Uncle Joe pointed proudly at the dream catcher. It's strong medicine. It will keep you safe as long as you have it with you. He frowned. Well, safe from spirits. You should still look both ways before crossing the street. Miranda took the dream catcher home. It worked. God, how it worked. She slept like a log. She woke up feeling like $1,000,000. Night after night, month after month, Miranda slept like a normal person. Better than a normal person. She almost never even had a nightmare. Then one night, after a long day at her summer job, Miranda came home and the dream catcher was gone. She didn't panic at first. Maybe it had fallen down. Maybe it was behind her bed. A quick search yielded nothing. She asked her mom about it. Her mom didn't know where the dream catcher had gone. Miranda went to ask her sister. She found Annie in her room with the dream catcher. The little girl had taped it to the wall above her bed. What are you doing with that? Miranda demanded. I need it, Annie told her. You can't just come in my room and take my stuff, an annoyed Miranda chided. She reached up to pull the dream catcher off the wall. No, Annie wailed. She grabbed Miranda with both arms. No, I need it. It's mine, Miranda snapped. I need it for the shadow lady, Annie snapped back. Shadow lady, Miranda paused. She let Annie pull her hand away from the wall. Annie, are you telling me there's a sleep demon? The shadow lady, fear crawled across the little girl's face. Tears fell. She holds me down, sits on me. I can't breathe. Sleep paralysis. Shadow people. Miranda told Annie to wait there. She went and got a hammer and a nail and set the dream catcher properly on the wall. It's strong medicine, Miranda told her. It'll keep you safe. Then she smacked her sister upside the head. But stop stealing my stuff. It took a little longer to pry the grateful little girl away from her. Miranda called Benny. Uncle Joe had told her to call the boy if she needed another dream catcher. She felt a little guilty, calling now after not seeing him all summer. But what else could she do? Benny didn't answer his phone. Miranda tried again. Then she texted. Benny didn't get back to her. Miranda was considering trying to go back to Uncle Joe's herself, but she'd only been there once, and that was half a year ago. She didn't think she could find it. Miranda tried Facebook next. It didn't take long to find Uncle Joe, but he didn't respond to a friend request or the messenger. She tried looking up his address. No joy. She did find Benny's address. She tried to go there, but her mom stopped her. She wouldn't let Miranda leave the house this late at night. Maybe it would be okay. It wasn't like the sleep demon came every night before she had the dream catcher. She could go one night without it, right? In the morning, she could try Benny again, or hunt Uncle Joe down, or go to the mall and get a whole bunch of dream catchers. Sure, they were weak medicine, but if there were enough of them. Miranda didn't want to risk it. She decided not to sleep. Tomorrow was her day off anyway. She'd wait until everyone went to sleep, then sneak out. She doubted she'd get away with it, but Miranda would accept her mother's wrath, if it meant she didn't have to sleep unprotected. It had been a long day. Miranda's eyes were heavy. She went to the kitchen and dug a soda out of the fridge. She chugged it, then went back to her room. She sat on the bed, played on her phone. It would be all right. Her parents weren't night owls. They'd go to bed soon. She'd give them an hour or two to fall asleep, and Miranda's eyes shot open. She must have drifted off. She tried to bolt upright. She couldn't. Oh, God, her body wouldn't move. She couldn't move. She felt the presence, hate, hunger, malice. Her heart sped up. No, it was already pounding so hard she thought it would burst out of her chest. She felt the weight on her, a crushing pressure squeezing down on her lungs. The figure stood at the foot of her bed, the shadow. It didn't stay there this time. The shadow crawled onto the bed with Miranda. Slowly, gleefully, it brushed against her body. The shadow was neither hot nor cold. It was just heavy, so heavy. It laid on her for a moment. Then it started crawling again. It crawled all the way up. Miranda struggled. She tried to scream, tried to make her body move. She couldn't. The shadow loomed over Miranda. She could almost see its face. Almost, if it had one. It was smiling. It felt like the thing was smiling at her. Miranda struggled harder. The shadow sat down on her chest. Miranda couldn't breathe. She couldn't breathe. It was too heavy. Her panic gasps turned into suffocated wheezes. Miranda was beyond thinking now. All there was terror, horror. Her mind bucked and screamed like a wild thing. It didn't help. She couldn't breathe. The creature sat still for a second, like it was enjoying the moment. Then it leaned forward. Shadowy hands reached for Miranda's throat.